Discussions have been had about poison in the food hall, about poison in the commissary. Discussions with Mr. Stein have been had about stabbings. These are the kinds of methods that have been discussed.
You talking about PD?
Yeah, it's in the same.
Yeah, man, yeah, that's all over the news. We see that. We watch that.
And what's crazy is, I know, because we've just been in this area forever.
Federal prosecutors are responding to R. Kelly's claims that there's a plot against him. They call those claims fanciful and repugnant.
R. Kelly has just been hospitalized after a sudden collapse in prison, and rumors are flying that he was poisoned. Claims suggest this wasn't an accident. In fact, sources close to Kelly say he's now naming the person behind it all, Diddy.
If they detain him, that's when all gonna be lining up with their hand in there.
Why? Because R. Kelly allegedly knows too much about the parties, the secrets, and Diddy's legal drama. And in Hollywood, when someone knows too much, poison is the easiest way to shut them up.
I've been poisoned 3 times. My toxicology report showed cyanide. And, cyanide metabolizes into pneumonia in your body. So I've had pneumonia.
Was this a hit to keep him quiet? Let's break down what really went down behind bars. R. Kelly didn't just collapse in prison. He might have been poisoned. And the streets are saying it loud. This wasn't an accident. It was a hit. After spending the past week claiming his life was in danger, the disgraced R&B singer has now landed in the hospital under mysterious circumstances. The official story? A medication overdose.
Attorneys are asking President Donald Trump to release their client immediately, saying prison officials have hired an inmate to him.
But let's rewind what actually happened. Almost a week ago, R&B singer R. Kelly's lawyers asked for him to be released from federal prison because they believed his life was in serious danger. They filed an urgent request, saying he should have been moved to home detention since there was a plan to have him while he was behind bars.
An attorney for American rapper R. Kelly has filed for his immediate release from a Californian jail. Lucy McLeod has your entertainment news. And Lucy, he claims prison officers tried to plot his.
According to court documents filed on Tuesday, Kelly's legal team said he wasn't safe in prison. They claim that 3 prison officials from the Bureau of Prisons tried to get another inmate to him. The motion included a sworn statement from Michael Glenn Stein, a terminally ill inmate who said he was part of the Aryan Brotherhood gang. Stein said that while he was locked up at USP Tucson in Arizona, 3 top prison officials promised him a deal. If he R. Kelly, they would help him escape so he could spend the rest of his life free. The threat to Mr. Kelly's life continues each day that no action is taken, the filing states. More AB members are accumulating at his facility. More than one has already been approached about carrying out his. One of them will surely do what Mr. Stein has not, thereby burying the truth about what happened in this case along with Robert Kelly. It goes on to say, Mr. Kelly's continued incarceration, while he knows his life is in jeopardy, constitutes cruel and unusual punishment. Stein alleges that after being transferred to the same unit as Kelly in March, he was confronted with a reminder of the plot. You need to do what you came here for, he was allegedly told by prison officials. Stein said he changed his mind after spending months watching Kelly and eventually told him about the alleged plot directly. According to Kelly's lawyers, they were told in June that another Aryan Brotherhood member had been ordered to both Kelly and Stein. The Aryan Brotherhood, or the Brand as it's called in prison, isn't just another gang. It's more like a secret army that runs things from behind bars. What began as a small group for protection back in the 1960s at San Quentin Prison has turned into one of the most dangerous and feared organizations in the U.S. prison system today.
I hear they represent maybe 2% of the prison population, but almost 40 or 50% of the that take place in prison.
Probably.
The Aryan Brotherhood has been linked to over 100 confirmed both inside and outside prison walls. Their influence isn't just local, it stretches from California to Texas and even Illinois. They're deeply rooted in the federal prison system too, which happens to be where R. Kelly is currently locked up. Unconfirmed reports suggest that the Aryan Brotherhood has gone after celebrity inmates before, not because of any personal beef, but to make a point. It's about power, control, and fear. A former federal prison guard, speaking anonymously to the Art of Dialogue, said something that really puts things into perspective. Inmates like R. Kelly become trophies. If you hit him, you're inside skyrockets. By the end of 2024, rumors started flying. Cryptic tweets from TMZ and Daily Loud stirred the pot, hinting at intercepted prison notes that mentioned a celebrity elimination order. They didn't name names, but people online wasted no time putting two and two together. Comment sections blew up. Some were sure it was about R. Kelly. Others said similar warnings had popped up in the past for other well-known inmates. Even without proof, the theory started picking up speed. Conspiracy forums lit up. Reddit users started piecing together timelines. A few said R. Kelly had been moved to protective custody before. Others claimed the Latin Kings had once put a hit out on him too. But now, with the Aryan Brotherhood potentially in the picture, it's a whole different story. Because once you're on the brand's radar, getting off it might be impossible. This wasn't the first time Kelly had tried to get out of prison because of safety concerns. Back in 2020, while he was waiting for trial at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Chicago, he was attacked in his cell by another inmate. His lawyers at the time said the government couldn't keep him safe and asked for his release, but that request was denied. Since day one in the federal prison system, R. Kelly has said he's been under constant threat, non-stop. He's surrounded by people who remember the headlines and who don't forgive the kind of fame that comes with scandal. According to court documents obtained by TMZ, he begged the court for release, saying he was a marked man. This wasn't some emotional plea for sympathy. It was a straight-up cry for survival. And for anyone who's been following his legal battles closely, it didn't sound like he was being dramatic. It sounded more like a serious warning.
R. Kelly was attacked behind bars. The singer's lawyer says Kelly was targeted by a fellow inmate at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in downtown Chicago.
Back in 2020, R. Kelly was attacked inside his prison cell by a known member of the Latin Kings, a gang with a long history of violence and deep ties in the prison system. The attacker was Jeremiah Shane Farmer, a man already doing life for two brutal. Somehow, he managed to get close enough to break into Kelly's cell and go after him with nothing but a pen. Farmer reportedly tried to stab him multiple times while Kelly screamed for help. When the mugshot and case details hit the internet, it caused a storm. But what really raised eyebrows were the whispers that the guards didn't step in right away, that they waited, that they let it happen. Some conspiracy theories say the guards turned a blind eye, sending a silent message, a quiet version of prison justice. Nothing has been confirmed, but to a lot of fans and true crime watchers, the message was clear. People on prison forums and crime blogs picked the whole thing apart, talking about guard shifts, cell layouts, timing, trying to figure out how a convicted got that close. Most believe it wasn't some random act. It was planned, a warning. And now those same red flags are starting to pop up again. But fans, insiders, and conspiracy theorists aren't buying it. The timing is too convenient. And the whispers are growing louder that someone tried to silence him permanently. And that someone, according to online chatter, just might be Diddy. It sounds wild until you look at the full picture. R. Kelly, locked away and seemingly irrelevant, suddenly starts dropping cryptic warnings, saying, "They're coming for me, and I know too much." Then boom, he's rushed to the hospital from solitary confinement after reportedly receiving an excessive dose of medication. But his fans aren't buying it. They are claiming that Kelly might be poisoned. Right now, the public and internet has been going frenzy about how Diddy might have manipulated anybody in his circle by using power and, more importantly, the substances to do what he wanted them to do.
Allegedly some sort of a blackmail ring that is operating throughout Hollywood, and that artists that are producing music are actually being controlled via being induced into at parties.
And some poison stories, they are no secrets now. Hollywood is built on secrets. And those who've been around long enough, they know exactly when to speak up. And more importantly, when to vanish. Catching pneumonia and giving poison in Hollywood has a dark history. And especially when it comes to Diddy, this is how he seems to use his power. His former bodyguard reveals shocking details about Diddy allegedly poisoning Jamie Foxx.
Diddy, poisoned him, or he's the reason why he got sick that night. I want to hear that from myself.
During a sit-down with Cam Capone, big homie CC dropped a serious bombshell. He claimed the threat to Jamie Foxx's life was directly tied to Diddy. The interview kicked off with CC being asked about his initial reaction to the music mogul's arrest at a Manhattan hotel. CC didn't hesitate. He said his first thought was vindication. He explained that in the past, he'd been labeled a liar for speaking out about Diddy. But now, with everything coming to light, he felt justified. But things really took a turn a few minutes in, when the interviewer pressed him for details, specifically whether he had any inside knowledge of what had been going on behind the scenes before the indictment dropped. That's when big homie CC made a jaw-dropping claim. "Well, I know he poisoned Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx reported him to the FBI because of it. I know that's a fact."
Well, I know he poisoned Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx reported him to the FBI because of it. I know that's a fact.
Now his legal team is sounding the alarm, and word is he's telling people exactly who he thinks did it. And guess what name is being floated around? Sean Diddy Combs. The theory? Kelly knows secrets that could blow the lid off Diddy's already crumbling empire. Fans believe R. Kelly may be holding explosive information, details tied to Diddy's alleged underground world of freak-off parties, fueled events, and disturbing behavior that's recently come under federal scrutiny. These weren't just wild nights out. They're rumored to involve coercion, and high-level cover-ups. And if R. Kelly, who moved in those same elite circles during the height of his fame, knows anything concrete, he becomes a massive liability to anyone trying to keep those secrets buried, especially Diddy.
Oh, you talking about PD?
Yeah, it's in the fan,
Yeah,
bro.
man, yeah, that's all over the news. We see that. We watch that.
And what's crazy is, what I know, because we just been in this area forever.
Online forums are lit up right now with people connecting the dots. One chilling comment reads, "Maybe they best worry about the AG visiting than finding him dead from Another, they're going to Epstein R. Kelly before he talks. These aren't just fringe theories anymore. Social media sleuths and YouTube investigators are painting a narrative where Diddy is panicking and Kelly is the man who could expose it all. If that's true, what better way to handle the problem than from the inside, in prison, where one mistake with a pill could take him out without a trace? This whole situation is now colliding with deeper, more controversial conversations about how powerful black men in Hollywood are systematically taken down when they step out of line, or when they know too much. Voices like Dr. Umar Johnson are connecting the dots between R. Kelly, Diddy, Bill Cosby, and even Kanye, suggesting that their downfalls aren't just personal failures, but coordinated takedowns. Whether you believe it or not, there's a growing belief that these men become targets not just because of what they've done, but because of what they've seen. And here's where it gets even messier. R. Kelly's name has already popped up inside Diddy's legal proceedings. In one strange twist, a former Diddy assistant testified that she once dreamed about Diddy saving her from R. Kelly. At face value, it sounds symbolic and irrelevant. But to conspiracy theorists, that mention is proof that Kelly is not just a ghost of scandal past. He's woven into the very fabric of what's happening with Diddy right now. He's part of the story. And for those trying to control that story, Kelly staying alive is a risk they might not be willing to take.
But if they detain him, that's when all motherfuckers be lining up with their hand in their head.
So let's not pretend this is just some random health scare. The bigger picture is dark, twisted, and packed with unanswered questions. Did R. Kelly really overdose, or was he poisoned to keep quiet? Is Diddy really scrambling to protect himself, or is this a setup to deflect blame? Whatever the truth is, one thing's for sure. This is no longer just about R. Kelly's past. This might be about Hollywood's dirtiest secrets trying to stay buried. And if Kelly survives this, he just might be ready to burn it all down. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.